So once again, hello everybody. It's Monday, it's the Deer Park. Let's get started like we normally do. Short period of bell meditation. So wherever you are behind your avatar, just get into a nice meditation posture. And as I ring the Ching bell, focus on the sound of the bell. Get that deep listening going. Get ready to absorb some Dharma today. You'll probably get distracted. It happens to all of us. When it does, I just want you to gently remind yourself and go back to focusing on the sound of the bell. So after the short meditation, then there'll be the 3 recitations, and then on with the talk for today. So I'll give you a moment, get into a nice posture, and we'll begin at the sound of the bell. I go for refuge to the Buddha, the teacher. I go for refuge to the Dharma, the teaching. I go for refuge to the Sangha, the taught. I take refuge in the Buddha. I take refuge in the Dharma. I take refuge in the Sangha. I have taken refuge in the Buddha. I have taken refuge in the Dharma. I have taken refuge in the Sangha. 3 pure precepts. Cease to do harm. Do only good. Do good for others. Bodhisattva vow. However innumerable all beings are, I vow to lead them all. However inexhaustible my delusions are, I vow to extinguish them all. However immeasurable the Dharma teachings are, I vow to master them all. However endless the Buddha's way is, I vow to follow it completely. Swaha. Once again, greetings everybody. Good to see you. On Friday, sorry I had to cancel, but things are real life crazy at the moment. But in that notice, that cancellation notice, I put a little practice thing for the weekend. I don't know how many of you noticed that, but it had to do with a situation that we find ourselves in. We do something for someone. They say thank you, which we've talked about, being polite before and how it's loving kindness and all that. So they say thank you, and you say, oh, you're welcome. That's the classic return for that. Well, what I recommended, or what I offered as a practice, is for the weekend, anytime you're about to say, you're welcome, say instead, I am happy to do it. 5 words, 6 words. I can't even count today. I am happy to do it. So I offered this in the cancellation notice on Friday as a practice to engage over the weekend. And if you tried it, you would probably have experienced the same transformations in how you think and how you act as I have. So we've talked again about the act of being polite, how that is an act of loving kindness, just being polite to others. But being polite to others arises either from nurture, your parents were strict about it, like mine certainly were, or you get it from training. And yeah, training. Being polite is a learned way of being. We have to be taught to be polite. So you weren't born knowing to say thank you, or even knowing why to say thank you. Gratitude, too, is a learned response. So, thank you, you're welcome. Then responding to gratitude is also a learned response. We learn to say, you're welcome. But what I'd like you to try is learn to say, I am happy to do it. Because after a thank you is said, we normally follow it with, you're welcome, because that's being polite. We like that. But it is also an acknowledgement of gratitude. And you might think, gratitude? But what do you actually mean when you say you're welcome? We don't put a lot of thought into it because it's become so rote, but we need to think about it. Because you've done something for someone. And maybe it was something really simple. Maybe you just opened a door for them. But maybe it was as complex as sitting down and helping a family member fill out their tax forms. You know how complicated that can be. And they are grateful. And their thank you, that's their show of gratitude. So this is the point where you say, you're welcome, and hopefully you sincerely mean it. As Buddhists, we should sincerely mean it, because if you don't, you have work to do. But honestly, we have to admit that sincerity doesn't always arise, especially when you're welcome just becomes something rote and so insincere. So I offered this practice that can help develop a sense of sincerity that we can reveal in a different phraseology. So set aside, you're welcome, again, for I'm happy to do it. I am happy to do it. Has a nice sound to it, doesn't it? I'm happy to do it. And there are some things you are already happy to do. And there are some things you don't like to do, so you're not very happy when you have to do them. And of course, there are a few things that just a mere thought of doing them causes the arising of all kinds of unwholesome emotional phenomena. But the phrase you're welcome, this has been used for a long time. So why should we change it? What's the point? It's language. Well, how can saying, I am happy to do it, affect your practice? So I'm going to answer the first question with the second question. The phrase you're welcome has been used for a long time. Why change it? Like I say, answer that with a question. How can saying I am happy to do it affect your practice? That's the important question. Well, you're welcome. This has been in usage for so long that, like I said, it's become a rote phrase. It's just automatic. We say it without any mindfulness often of exactly what are we saying you're welcome for. What did they need? What did we do to reach that point of you're welcome? So what I want to do is bring some mindfulness back into it by trying this new phrase. And it's a mindfulness practice. You've done something for someone. We like doing that. We like doing things for people. And they say, thank you. We appreciate that, right? Nice show of gratitude. And you respond, you're welcome. Well, you're just engaging in this long-held polite formula. And it's one that sometimes will come across as insincere, and sometimes that insincerity is on purpose. So instead of a heartfelt thank you, a sincere thank you, try responding with, I am happy to do it. I want you to say that to yourself. Just say it a couple of times to yourself. Get the feel of it. We've got the feel of you're welcome. That's an easy one. We need to get a feel for I am happy to do it. Because I'll tell you, I've been using the phrase now for 3 months. This has been both a mindfulness practice and a selflessness practice, because it will also teach you about selflessness and get that attitude into your body-mind. So I start out thinking about the first 2 words, I am. Why those words, I am? Well, this is an intentional reminder that how I choose to be is my responsibility. I am. Because I could say, I am angry to do it. I am upset to do it. I am anxious to do it. But no, I am, and I choose happy. It brings me a certain sense of joy when I've done something nice for someone, and I've experienced that using the word happy is more likely to elicit a smile from someone. I am happy to do it. And it is an intentional reminder that doing good makes me feel good, or happy, if you will. And as Buddhist practitioners, we strive to do, right? We strive to take wholesome actions for ourselves and others, or to do it. So, I am happy to do it. The phrase, I am happy to do it, is a reminder that the action isn't taken only for one particular individual, as in, you're welcome, because it is something I am happy to do for whomever is in need of an action. It's the bodhisattva in training way to be. I am happy to do it. It is also a practice that will develop a deeper sense of selflessness. That I do things because they need to be done. It doesn't matter for whom. Don't care. And that I develop a deeper sense of happiness toward every action I take. Well, that's a bonus. Like I said, 3 months I've been doing this because I wanted to see, before presenting this to you guys, how does it affect me? And it's very effective in a wholesome way. Both for myself and from the reactions I've got from others, it seems that it takes them by surprise and will more often get a smile from the person you say it to. But I want to consider a big practice, meditation practice. Meditation practice. Well, I have to be honest. Meditation practice consumes time. It can be uncomfortable to engage in, both physically and mentally, right? We get cramps when we sit, and we think weird thoughts when we're thinking, sitting in meditation. And honestly, meditation can be a hassle. How about this? For the next 2 weeks, just before you begin your meditation session, I want you to say out loud and with a smile, I am happy to do it. When you finish the session, stand up and say out loud with a smile, I am happy to do it. Now, in the case of meditation, you might think this practice is trying to convince you that you are happy to do it. But actually, it is revealing to you that you actually are happy to do it. You just haven't realized it yet. So I am happy to do it doesn't only apply to the things you do for others, it also applies to the things you need to do for yourself. I am happy to do it. It's like coming here to see you guys twice a week. I am happy to do it. The days that I have to miss for whatever reason it might be, makes me unhappy to do it. But there's an important point here at the end we need to make. It doesn't matter if it is something you don't really want to do. You still should be happy to do it. Because we don't need to be really happy to do things, but we want people to know that we like doing things for others. So this idea that it doesn't matter if it's something you really want to do, you should still be happy doing it, it's just another one of those Buddhist practice paradoxes. That we don't want to do it, but we're still happy to do it. Why? Because it needs to be done. Whatever that may be. So here's the practice. If you haven't tried it yet, what I would like you to do is say, between now and Friday, next 3.5 days, whatever we have left. When you do something, maybe as simple as opening a door for someone, like I said, maybe really complex, like working on taxes, whatever it is. When somebody says to you, thank you, be mindful and respond with, I am happy to do it. I will tell you, the first few times, maybe even the first dozen times you do it, it's not going to feel right. Because you're going to think to yourself, I don't know if I really feel happy to do it. That's okay. You're not lying when you say, I am happy to do it. What you're trying to do is you're trying to practice that so that becomes how you think, right? And we know that how we think changes the way we act, right? How we act changes the way we think. So by repeating this, by using this phrase, we're doing both thought and action. I am happy to do it. It works on friends, family, strangers, doesn't matter. Watch for people's reactions because there'll be an emotional reaction. It'll either be a look of incredulity, like, why would you be happy to do something for me? Or it's going to be just a big smile of wow, this person really sincerely cared. And as Buddhists, that's part of being selfless, right? Is doing these things not just for ourselves, but for others. I am happy to do it.